As you enter the Northern Territory Library, what you see in front of you is a little piece of the horror from February 19. It's the only remaining wall of the original post office in Darwin. Look at the piece of shell that was dropped on the post office, and now imagine you had been inside this building. Picture it's February 19. You are one of the 9 people with a very important job, tapping out messages from a city on the front line to friends, family and the government down south. You work in a beautiful single-storied building, surrounded by verandas and trees. You take precious letters to sweethearts, families and mates from soldiers and others in Darwin, and make sure they reach their destination. You see their faces light up when a sweetheart writes back. You tap out Morse code messages, and you provide a lifeline to the rest of Australia. Then the air raid siren fills your ears. Panic erupts and you rush for the nearest slit trench. Within moments, a bomb blows apart the building. This single bomb cut Darwin off and killed all 9 people inside the post office, mainly women. Linda Hausler's grandfather was a deputy Crown Solicitor.
On the day of the big raid, my grandfather was at work in the government offices near the post office, which of course received the direct hit. My grandfather told my mother how he ran out to try and reach a shelter with his secretary Flo Ward, but a plane with a machine gun fired at them, so they retreated. But my mother explains my grandfather rarely spoke to them about what it was like when the air raids occurred.
This raw piece of the post office remains still stirs emotions for many in the Territory, including Northern Territory librarian John Richards.
You do get a strange feeling walking past that shell fragment and a part of the old post office wall when you walk into the library every time. And there's a brass plaque right out in the middle of the main hall that says this is where the first bomb was dropped. So we're very conscious about the bombing of Darwin. You know, it sort of looks like bullet holes in the brickwork. It's a very jagged piece of shell, so it does give you a strange feeling of history.
As you enter the library itself, wander over to the back wall, where a special commemorative quilt hangs. This quilt is a collection of many signatures from people that were in Darwin during the raids. Look over the names sewn by Jenny Armour as you hear from veteran Army surveyor Basil Stile.
All of us signed the little thing. It's about 1,600 signatures on that, I think, on that. In 92, I think it was, we were given a little patch about 3 inches square, and we had to put our name and number of unit and everything on that. And then they eventually made a quilt of it. I go there every year because I'm the last of my unit. There's none of them left now. So I read all the old ones on the wall, and that's it, you know.
On your way out, there's a large painting of the Darwin Harbour being bombed, showing the chaos, bravery and fear that so many came up against on February 19.